Many would have heard of Garh Himmat Singh. It's a tiny village in Rajasthan with a population of around 4,000. Now that's small given India's vast masses. Garh Himmat is an agricultural village where people fend for themselves through cultivating land. Beyond that, well, they really haven't thought much. It's actually a beautiful village with a small fort. The walls may be crumbling, but the grandeur of the past is very much present. Into this village, into their daily routine stepped Andrea, a young German woman and more importantly, a top-notch hockey player. It was just a routine visit for Andrea when she came with a friend whose ancestors had lived in Garh Himmat. But within hours of her coming here, she was mesmerized. She felt the place had a magical quality and she decided to stay here. It was difficult initially. The heat, power cuts, and the food was nothing that Andrea was used to. But she was resilient. Once she got over the hiccups, she decided that she wanted Garh Himmat Singh's little children to learn hockey. A village that didn't have any leanings towards sport. Nobody had ever played sport of any kind in the village. People were indeed amused that a German woman would teach them hockey. Indian villages are conservative, especially so in rural Rajasthan. Girls are married off early and they help their husband's family. But a German woman was threatening to break traditions. Not only girls would play hockey, that they would run around with sticks was just beyond imagination.
Namaste everybody, good morning.
Even getting the local school to adopt sports and allow Andrea to meet the children and teach them hockey was difficult. Her local friend Chandu decided to help out. Chandu's family owns the fort where Andrea stays, and he took her to the local school to meet the principal and the sports teacher.
गर्ल्स साइड तो खूब सारी प्रॉब्लम आई, बॉयज़ तो फिर भी कम आई लिटिल बिट. सम बॉयज़ ने कोई एक दो पेरेंट्स ने कभी कोई ऑब्जेक्शन किया कि भाई ये वो आपकी जिम्मेवारी होगी, ये बच्चे ये तो सब बाहर के लोग हैं, आप लोगों की जिम्मेवारी है ले जाना लाना, कुछ हो जाएगा तो हम आपसे ही कुछ कहेंगे. तो मतलब वो सारी बातें गांव लेवल पर आ जाती है, वो कोई बात नहीं. बट अब ये सब धीरे धीरे भी ख़त्म भी होती जा रही है. मैंने आंद्रिया से कहा कि ये जैसे ये छोटी छोटी तो स्कर्ट लेके आई, मैंने कहा इनको तू क्या करेगी मैंने कहा कोई यूरोप थोड़ी है, तू इसको मैंने पहना रही है लागे. तो बोले नहीं नहीं यार ये चल जाए, हॉकी में तो यही चलती है, खुला रहता है तो ही बच्चे दौड़ेंगे भागे. मैंने ये नहीं चलेगा और नहीं पेरेंट्स परमिशन देंगे बाहर जाने के लिए, तू यहीं खिला के रह जाएगी, बाहर कोई भेजेगा ही नहीं. धीरे धीरे ऐसे लगा, धीरे धीरे लगा क्या हो गया कि पेरेंट्सों ने परमिशन दे दी गर्ल्स के लिए.
One of the first priorities for Andrea was to ensure that sport would not be at the cost of education. In India, education is a priority, not sport. Andrea knew the importance of education in the Indian society, and she also understood that sport enhanced the all-round development of children. It gave them a future. In the few days that she had stayed at Garh Himmat, Andrea knew there was not much of a future that parents dreamt for the children. She wanted to change all that. Her friend Chandu became the translator. Andrea's working knowledge of English also came in handy. The school was reluctant at first. They didn't know how to react to the offer. The school had no playground. Andrea solved that problem by deciding to train kids in the school courtyard itself. Basics had to be taught first. Girls and boys had to learn how to hold a hockey stick before they could go to a ground and play competitive hockey.
I agree that education is number one. Totally agree. But I think nobody can learn 24 hours. So learn and then have a break, do some sports, get a clear mind, and then you can learn again. So in Europe we manage both, you know, kids go to school and afternoon they do sports. So I think we can combine, if we work together, school and sports, it will go.
Garh Himmat Singh's fort has seen better days. It's located at one end of the village. Royalty or the zamindars lived at the edge of the villages and never in the middle of it. Past the village shops and houses, a dirt road leads to the gates of the fort. Adjacent to the big wooden doors is a dust bowl of a ground which Andrea made her training area. Before the hockey training began, the area was a resting place for the village cows in the evening. Now the village children played here and understood the concept of team building through hockey. This was the best that the village could offer Andrea. She wasn't perturbed. She went about her task in building a hockey team literally from the dust.
Chandu provided some space in front of the fort, so size-wise it's less than a half field and it's quite dusty. So now when it's so dry, it's hard to see the ball anymore. So the conditions are quite poor. I mean, the kids don't mind because before they didn't have any ground. So even a bad ground is a good ground. But to compete on any level outside of the village, it's necessary to have a full ground and in a proper condition. You know, the kids here in the village, they're quite strong. They are fighters, so they're good sports people. And I think we can do a lot for them and they will be successful one day. So yeah, I'm fighting for a bigger and better ground.
Andrea knew she would not be able to build the hockey village without help. And she needed dedicated and hard-working volunteers. Instead of looking towards the village for assistance, she called upon junior players from Germany to set in motion the process of creating a model hockey village in Rajasthan. It was tough going. Even the volunteers were taken aback with the lack of facilities. But slowly they adapted themselves. German grit, so often visible in their sports teams, was also seen at Garh Himmat Singh.
Well, since I was very tired after such a long flight and after such a long cab drive to Garh Himmat Singh, I suddenly lost all my security thinking from Europe and my hygienic thinking from Europe. So I just accepted everything that I saw. And when they told me to do this, I just did so. So in the beginning it was, I was just accepting it, and now I feel a little bit more comfortable here. But I was just, and they were so welcoming just at the beginning, so it was no real problem. Or I didn't think that there would be so much dust. So this was also a problem when I saw the ground first. I thought, oh, I will die in these 8 months because I will stay here for 8 months. And after that, probably my lungs will give up. But now I got used to it, and so it's no problem anymore.
As I learned about the project, I was very interested because I like India and the culture, and I thought, yeah, maybe it would be good for experience to start off doing social work. But one big problem is our ground. Yeah, it's very dusty and stony, and the conditions are very difficult.
Despite the problems of adapting and dealing with difficult conditions as well as cultures, Andrea and a bunch of volunteers never gave up. Fences were mended, and Andrea also started teaching English to the children. It was better than her learning Hindi. English was a necessity, and she could teach that to the kids at the school and at the hockey ground, and they could understand her faster, which helped their education and also to learn hockey that much faster.
Hockey and English. So that one day you can play hockey outside of the village, in Jaipur, in Delhi, in Mumbai. Maybe we can go to Germany to play against German children. Yeah? But for this, it's very, very important that you learn English, because people outside of India, they don't speak Hindi. So you have to learn English so that you can talk with other children. Yeah? So I know that now maybe you don't understand me, but I think if you come to the ground and we play hockey together, we don't need a language, because sports is our language. Yeah? Girls in Germany do the same than you here. They play hockey. Yeah? So I think this will be a good chance for you in future, yeah, to play hockey. Maybe you have the chance to play for India, for your country, if you are good. Yeah? And then you will have many, many opportunities, and your country will be very proud of you. Yeah? So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Larki play hockey. Okay? And you can all come.
Books are needed to teach the girls and boys English. Andrea visits the school library. It looks like nobody has been to the library in a long time. Windows are opened as Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore looks on from the perch on the wall. Books are dusted and taken out. At least the books are in good condition. No one seems to have ever touched them. Andrea starts teaching inside the fort after the school is over. The children learn English and maths. Afternoons are consumed by education. Andrea knows the importance of a team working off and on the field. But education is important. It also keeps the parents happy if the kids, instead of just wasting time, are putting it to better use. Evenings are taken up by hockey. In the dust bowl of a ground, Andrea teaches the basics of sport and hopes she is giving back something to the game in a country which needs it more. The German understands the sentiments of the nation towards its heroes. Major Dhyan Chand, who captained the Indian hockey team in the 1936 Berlin Olympics and beat the Germans in the final in front of Adolf Hitler, now is the inspiration inside the equipment and changing room. A giant-sized poster stares at every player entering the changing room, urging them to put in their best. A bunch of hockey sticks in the corner pays homage to India's and possibly the world's greatest hockey player. The work is not over with teaching English and hockey to the children. Hockey jerseys have to be washed and dried. It's a daily ritual as tons of dust and sweat have to be washed away. Andrea uses the old method of immersing them in a bucket, washing and drying them. It's hard work to produce hockey players, to create an environment where sport doesn't exist. Andrea is very much a part of the village now. When she walks in Garh Himmat Singh, nobody pays undue attention to her anymore. She is no more the India-struck foreigner. On the contrary, she has become a part of the village life. She is up early and takes a morning walk, greeting the villagers, chatting with the women as they milk the cows. To get closer to the village elders, she has learned the traditional Namaste.
Namaste, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Participated in religious functions, even tried a hand at a sewing machine. Andrea is as much an inhabitant of Garh Himmat Singh as the locals now. They understand why she is here and admire her determination. The women may not say much, but the men praise her. For Andrea, nothing is more important than seeing the children smile.
Yeah, I mean, I see the faces of the kids, they're quite excited, even if they don't understand what I'm talking about. But it's really sad to see that they don't know any English, nothing, they're totally blank. And I saw as well that there were school classes, there was not even a teacher inside. So it's nice that the kids come, but if they don't have a chance to learn because there's no teacher, what's the sense of a school? So, but when we practice with them some hockey, I think it's a nice experience for them to have some challenge, to have some different things to do. And of course, for them, I'm like an alien, you know, I'm a foreigner, probably the first one they've seen in their life. So I think they are quite attracted from what I was showing them, and I hope that some of them come to play, and especially for the English classes, that would be important. You know, the smile of the kids, they help me to go through all these efforts.
Hockey, however, drives her, and it has become her life's ambition to turn Garhimmat Singh into a hockey village. Not easy without the right infrastructure. It's ground zero at the fort area. The ground is hard and dusty. But the training begins anyway with the help of the volunteers who have come all the way from Germany. Basics in hockey skills are spelled out. Young boys and girls have to learn how to stop and dribble. These kids have never seen a hockey stick, let alone know about the sport. But they're learning fast. Life in the village revolved around going to the school and helping parents at home or in the fields. Now suddenly finds a new avenue. The kids are excited and eager to learn. Suddenly, a new world opens up to them, a world of hockey. Andrea wants to build a spirit that would involve the entire village. It's just not enough to have the children play a sport. The villagers also need to support the cause.
I want to start quite early with the hockey because we do the same in Germany, and you know, I think the team spirit, that's very important. As you said already, the area here is quite poor, so whatever they can get, they grab. But this is not team spirit, you know, so we have to make them understand that if we stick together, we can manage much more than everybody is fighting for himself. So, yeah, and you know, when they have the chance to play outside of the village, in Jaipur, in any other bigger city, or even in Germany, there will be such a big exposure. So not even, I mean, that's a sort of education. Traveling, see the world, you know, that will change their life.
The involvement of the villagers is crucial to the dream that Andrea has created for them.
I mean, the long-term target is that we involve, of course, the villagers, because I don't want to spend my whole life here being the white woman doing everything. Of course, I want to involve the villagers so that they one day can run the whole thing by themselves. I mean, I will ever support them, but they should support as well.
Andrea is already planning the team's first trip to New Delhi. The girls are eager to put forth their best. She knows the positives of exposure